But knowing the two of us, we're going to say something fucking brilliant.
The fuck is
and
this?
Then, that's how my hair usually looks. I actually don't brush my hair a lot. I hate brushing my hair. And so a lot of days I will just not and just throw it up. And then my hair is kind of curly, which most people don't know because I don't tend to the curls. But like if I put it up and it's damp or wet and then I take it down, it's like this huge fucking lion's mane. And
wouldn't be totally off brand.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it really would be. You know what else I found today? Mark's Cards of Connection, and they have and there's a whole section on. Well, I mean, I thought these were like sex ones, but I guess maybe they're not. I thought there was a whole sex section.
Oh.
This one says building chemistry, and like the first question is like, how do you feel about porn and its effects on intimacy? So I just assumed all the cards were sex, but like maybe we should pick one of these. I also have
like
the ones from Esther Perel.
Oh yeah.
It's a game of stories.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's sex questions in here. If not, I think this is. Why can't I open this box? Oh my god! You can't see this.
You're like full-blown disasters. I'm like trying to figure out my fucking necklace, and you're trying to figure out how to get the fucking lid. You and I are dumpster fires right now. Maybe we should keep this in the podcast.
I think we should.
This should be our clip. Maybe we should cut this into an Instagram reel.
I think we should.
So people can be like, these chicks are fucked.
They're so insane. Because I thought it like slid. Like, you can't. Oh shit. Like, I thought like this part would like slide out. But it's actually...
That's what she said. I mean,
Exactly.
Maybe this is the whole vibe.
It is the whole vibe. I think this is just the vibe of the podcast, really. Like, it can't be that serious.
Maybe we should just do like a truth or maybe we should just do like a truth or dare.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh my god, can you imagine if we had guessed, like if we just brought Corey up or like other people and we were just like truth or dare?
Yes. That's the wildcard episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that feels good.
That feels very good. I don't know what's happening here. Fuck it.
Okay, but like here's a question. Something I want but haven't asked for. And I feel like that fits with what we're going to talk about today. So maybe we should just... Oh. Damn, there are better sex questions in here.
Oh,
so yeah, maybe we should.
You know what? I might grab my sweater. It's getting... Can I just piece up for one
No.
second?
Yes, of course.
No! Fuck you.
Never. Oh yeah, there's some good sex questions in here. This is great for like multiple podcasts on sex. I don't think this is going to be our first episode on sex.
God, I'm sweating like a hot tamale right now. It's a fucking DOGs. Maybe they'll sponsor me.
Maybe they will.
Dove cares. Dove cares. You know what Dove is great for? Podcasting. When you get all sweaty and hot.
Oh, this is amazing.
It's gonna be unhinged.
Unhinged.
40 in the Bible.
Oh, there's so many like good sex questions in here. We got to use this for like multiple episodes because there's too many. I'll shuffle them. I'll just pull a bunch, and then I'll shuffle them, and we'll just wildcard it at some point in the episode.
Perfect.
Yeah, because they're. I mean, it would have been nice to plug Marks, but they're not spicy enough. Like, and there might be like in. Oh wait. Oh no, foreplay. I thought that was going to be sexual foreplay. But
you know what this is telling me? This is telling me that we really do need our own deck.
Dude, I was thinking about that last night again, and I think that's what got me all fucking riled up, and I'm like, okay, I have to stay up and write. Not that I was writing things for Oracle cards, but I think that we need to have like, I think we need to do it. Like have the sex deck and then like the normal deck.
Yes. Are we rolling? Are we like official or should we do?
I mean, it's been rolling. I think we should do like an official.
Okay, fine.
Okay, we're ready to start.
Okay.
If you're ready to start.
Let's fucking go.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. No one's letting you forget in the club. That is for fucking sure.
Are you in lots and lots of pain? How bad is the pain?
Fuck you fucking asshat.
Have fun dancing in the floor.
Number one, why am I falling? Number two, you ruined everything.
Oh, so good. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. We finally got our technology sorted. It took a couple weeks, and that's fine. It also took a tech call last night with the wonderful Corey Chesson, who you may, if you follow me, you may know from my music, because he's also my music partner. I basically just take Corey with me everywhere I go. And it's like, and him and I joke, like, he's the only man that I'm willing to have a codependent relationship with, because we literally just do everything together. And every project I'm in, I'm like, oh, you know who'd be great for that role? Corey. And so we got to get on a little session with him last night, and we were just freeballing, and we came up with a new concept for one of these podcast episodes in the future, which we're not going to tell you about right now, but we will tell you. You know, we call this edging. You know, we're not going to give it to you right now, but maybe we'll give it to you. Just the tip. And if you were wondering where we might be going today, you're probably right. If you have a dirty mind, which you probably do, because why else would you be following us?
You psycho? I mean, come on, jeez. You've got to be unhinged if you're following. If you're tuning into a podcast that you don't know even what it's about, I mean, really, we have left like no context to any of this so far. So I mean, the fact that if you're even listening right now, like, you are just as fucked as we are. Yes,
we love
in the
you.
Best way. Mm-hmm. We love you. We're obsessed with you. Like, this is why you're here. We're on the vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Christine, how are you?
I feel like my energy is gonna like blow the roof off, and it's so funny because technically I like shouldn't be, like, based on like where I am in my cycle and all the month and everything, but like it's been a zing. It's been a zing day, and I'm very excited to be here, and I'm already like feeling the vibe. I don't know what's going to happen. You and I have like really talked about none of this, about what we're going to say, which is the best, because when we leave room for spaciousness, magic comes
when
through,
the magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what's funny is when you say that you're like feeling that zing, I was on a thread on Threads the other day talking with a bunch of women in their 40s about how their sex drive is just through the motherfucking roof. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not fucking crazy. Like, I have been feeling this like surge of energy for like, I don't know, the last month or so. And I'm like, it's unlike anything I've ever experienced in my lifetime. It's like when I'm ovulating and I'm feeling like I need to fucking claw at the walls and like literally be chained to a tree like a werewolf, because I'm just gonna fucking demolish everything. That's how it feels pretty much the whole month now. And like, what is going on? And I just thought, oh, that must be something going on with me. Like, maybe I've just like unleashed the beast, and you know, it's been a while, so that's just what's happening. But then it turns out that it's actually this thing that happens for women when they get into their 40s. Their sex drive just goes through the roof. And it was really lovely to talk to a bunch of women who were like, some were early 40s like me, some were late 40s, some were 50s, 60s. And like, these women, it was immaculate. They were like, yeah, like my sex drive is just turbo. And like, I'm just turned on. I'm like, if this gets to be the second half of life where I'm just in a constant state of turn on, giddy fucking up.
Up.
Let's
Giddy
go.
fucking up. And what I want to say to that, because as you were speaking, all I heard was, yes, it's like the 40s, because I just turned 40 as well. And I mean, I don't know what happened, but the day I turned 40, it was like something took over me.
Yeah.
And I just turned into a fucking animal. I mean, my post even about the like 40, I posted that photo of me like half nude. And I was like, I fully wrote on there, I'm like, am I trying to thirst trap right now? Fuck no. Like, am I trying to have a midlife crisis? Fuck no. Been there, done that. This is like a reclamation of, I don't know what happened. There was literally an energetic when I turned 40. It was like the day I turned 40. It was energy. It was just like, oh, hell no. It was like an unapologetic, I'm here and let's fucking go energy. Mm-hmm. And I want to say that I think that that energetic also is available to us as well, because I think we have done the work to get there, right? Like, I think that, like you said something a second ago about like turn on, and I legit most days feel turned on about life. Yeah. And like, same. It's just like, fuck yeah. Let's go. Fuck yeah. And also like when you've been through many dark night of the souls and pain and like just chaos, I think that there is like an unshakable energy that is a turn on energy about life, because you're like, holy fucking shit, if I can get through that dumpster fires, plural. Yes, plural. Like, you literally light that bitch on fire and then you like throw it down a deep road with like deep. A big,
so fucking deep.
I don't know what I'm doing right now. I can't get the word out, and like I'm just doing this. It looks like I'm penetrating the air.
Yeah, that
but tracks. Like a very steep road, and like the dumpster's on fire with like, you know, it's just a fucking raging dumpster fire. And the more momentum, like you're like, if I can survive that, there is nothing this bitch can't do. And it almost becomes scary, where it becomes like this. It's like sexual life force energy. And even when I was doing a little Instagram clip today and promoting our next upcoming webinar, Bringing Sexy Back, it was like, this is about sex, but it isn't. It's like the sexual life force energy, this elusive thing that people used to talk about. It's like Shakti or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, people are like, it's this energy. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds fucking great. I had a Kundalini awakening. I'm like, get fucked. Yeah, I'm sure you have. I like just didn't, I was like, okay, whatever. And I was, I realized how incredibly closed off I was from that energy. And other people's expression of it made me pissed. And how much that was affecting my business and my life and relationships and creativity. Totally. It's all connected. It's wild.
It's all connected. And if you haven't caught the drift yet, we're talking about sex, baby.
Oh yeah.
Today's all about sex. And
sorry. I can't.
Christine was just
I don't know where to find mute. I was like gonna mute myself, and I'm like, I'm not on Zoom anymore. Fuck. Where do I go? I need to cough. Fuck. I'm like searching for mute. Where's mute?
I think. Okay, so we'll just take a little pause here. This is real life, real love, everyone. I think. Well, actually, I don't know how it looks on your side. Never mind. I don't know. Sorry, everyone.
Fuck it. I don't care.
Fuck it. It's just, this is what happens in real life. Sometimes you need to cough. And sometimes that happens in sex, right? Like where weird things happen. Where things that happen that aren't planned and you're like, fuck, that wasn't sexy. And then how do you recover? Well, you just fucking do. You just keep going. You know, you acknowledge it. You're like, yep, I just did the weird thing. And let's just keep going, right? And I think that's actually perfect for today. I don't know where
that happened for a reason. I mean, like, I don't usually get it to the point where I'm like, I like legit need to cough right now. And this is, I'm staring at the screen. I'm like, where the fuck is the goddamn thing? Kelsey, you talk so that I can find the mute button. And then I'm literally like trying so desperately to find it so I can cough. But you know what? Fuck it. Because that is what life is, right? Like, how perfect is that when people with sex or with anything, there's this perfectionism piece and this fantasy around how it's going to look. And I go into the bedroom and it's going to be this perfect thing. And it's like, or not, or your fucking nipple hangs, like falls out, and then you try to bend over to get fucked, and you like, you know, like shit,
pull a hamstring,
whatever, it's a pull a hamstring, you get a cramp, and you're like, get out, Charlie horse, I need this right now. Like, no, right? Like, right? Or you thought you looked so hot, and then you got like makeup streaming down your face, or like you're fucking. When I was younger, guess what? How it used to happen? I was like, don't pull too hard. My weave is gonna come out, right? Like, who knows? A pair of hair. Like, I had. Okay, get this. Do you want to hear something really fucked up?
I do. I really do.
So when I was younger, I was like, you know, I knew I was getting it on. I was like, this is fucking happening. I'm back at the apartment. This is happening. So Mama unclips her fucking weave. Okay, so I'm like, I had the clip-ins. So I unclip the weave. And I'm like, where do I put this? Because I can't let him know that half my hair is fucking fake. So I unclip it and I fucking shovel it into under his bathroom sink. I don't know where else to go. I'm like, just hold on. We're like hot and heavy. I'm like, oh, just hold on a sec. I'm like, clip. Put it underneath the bathroom sink. Close the door. I'm like, off. We fuck. I'm like, okay, great. Da da da. Yeah. Next morning. Like almost like a scream, like, and then I'm like, oh my God. No. I'm like, what is that noise? No. He thought it was like a dead animal underneath his sink. And then it's almost one of those like, whose fucking weave is this? Because it looks like a dead animal. Anyone who has a weave knows what I'm talking about. It was like under the fucking sink and thought it was like a dead animal. And I'm like, I'm in that like mode where I'm like, how do I deny this? Like, how do I make this not mine? But also, a bitch needs her hair back.
Yeah, give it back.
I need that shit's expensive. So I'm like, it's not cheap. Let's be real. I'm like in my 20s. Okay, like, you know, let's just like really preface that I am now 40, so it's being like solid 20. Yeah. But it was like one of the most embarrassing experiences because again, it was just like another idea of like this needs to be perfect, and I need I'm so insecure and I need this weave to be under here. And of course it like all comes out in the fucking wash and like he sees it and then I have to basically say like, yes, half my hair is fake and you know, like all these things. And yes, you just found my weave and I'm so fucking embarrassed right now. And will you ever call me again? And anyways, I wish you didn't call me again, but like, it's just like one of, do you know what I mean?
He did. Though? Spoiler alert. He did.
Well, and also he must have been like kind of twisted as well. Cause I mean like to find the dead rat basically under your sink and still be intrigued. He's like, I'm going to see what's going down with this bitch. Like,
yeah, like she's a little unhinged and
she's
think I like
unhinged.
it.
Totally.
I think I like
Anyways,
it.
I'm going to call myself out on that. But I don't know how this podcast turned into like me basically sharing me coughing and now sharing like just these.
Well, that's what needed to happen. You needed to pattern interrupt and we needed to share that story because I think it's really relatable. I mean, I don't know anybody who has had a perfect sex life across the board from the time they started having sex to wherever they are in space and time right now. Like, we've all had some weird fucking shit go down. Like, we've all had embarrassing moments. We've all had probably people that we fucked that were like, oh, I really wish I hadn't have done that. You know, like, I have a couple of those that I'm like, yeah, that could have just like stayed on the dance floor, you know.
Why did that have to go into that 3-year domestic dumpster fire fucking relationship where he still owes me $4,000? Yes, that's a very specific. Yeah. And I co-signed his fucking phone bills.
Oh my God!
And no, that noise is not me cracking a beer, you guys. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, it kind of feels like we're totally unhinged and like we should be drinking tequila.
I know. If you get me on tequila, though, the channeling is going to get a little out of control, and then we will be fully unhinged.
I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. Like, I think that that's just, you know, the wildcard sessions here. I'm into it.
Yeah, we should do those, actually. Like, we can, like, just preface them that they are rated R.
Yep.
And we'll do, like, a champagne and channeling. We'll get us, like, fucked off champagne, and then we'll
I can't do champagne. It gives me a headache.
I can't either. I like the idea of it. And I like the name. So if you could just roll with the name.
Okay, fine.
We'll call it champagne and channeling, but we'll actually be drinking spicy margaritas.
Okay. I'm into that. Sometimes my brain hears things very literally. This is something that I've had to be really cognizant of, like, because when I hear stuff, I'm like, oh, actually, no. And, like, sometimes I think, I'm like, is there something going on with my brain? Because like I really don't always have like a lot of space for nuance. But then other times I have so much space for nuance. And even in the realm of sex, like that can be a really challenging thing to navigate because I will hear things literally and it'll take a moment for my mind to kind of process. I'm like, is that a literal thing? Or is that like us just playing impossibility and fantasy? Because there is that element of sex and building up rapport and kind of stoking those fires that requires you to play in fantasy. And sometimes the things that we want to play with in Fantasyland aren't the things that we actually want to do in real time, but it's fun to play with them in Fantasyland. And that's been like one of the big things that I've really liked to play with and explore as I've gone on my sexual journey. And it's been a fucking wild ride. Like I mean, I love sex. It's so fun. And it has been something that I've used to cope with trauma for, well, pretty much 25 years of my life. It is what it is, you know? Yeah. And I find it really fascinating. Like even our origin stories with sex will often shape what comes next and like what we ultimately experience. And I think that's an important distinction to acknowledge when we have any conversation about sex. And especially if we have patterns in sex that we're like, that's interesting. Or like, why is that happening? Or why am I so attracted to that? Like, well, sometimes there is an imprint. There's something, and like in my case, like my first experience of sex was actually really great. I had a great partner. He was really well experienced. I mean, he was a bit of a ding dong in terms of like his character, as we would find out as our relationship progressed. But in terms of a person to have sex with for the first time, like I do not regret that at all, because I would prefer to have someone who knew what they were doing and like really did care about my experience. And like we took that whole process like quite slow, where we like explored, and then when I was actually ready for penetrative sex, that's when we had it. And it wasn't like him kind of forcing an agenda. Like it was very much me led. And so because it was me led and my pleasure was prioritized, that became the imprint that I played with as I developed sexually, where I kind of took on this very bossy energy of like, I'm in control. And that also had an element of like, I was dealing with a big amount of trauma on the back end of my life. And sex was the one place where I felt like I had a lot of control and a lot of power. And I'd already been like wielding my sexual power for quite some time. Like when that turned on, when I think I was like 13 or 12 or whenever it was, and I was like, I can use this to manipulate people, specifically men. I can get them to do whatever I want them to do if I just turn this on. And so I'd already been like playing with kind of like this darker, like femme fatale sort of energy. And then once I had sex for the first time, and then shit didn't work out with that dude, and then I got real fucking spicy, and I was like, you know what? No one's ever going to hurt me like that again. Fuck these dudes. Like, I'm just going to use them, and I'm going to use them for my pleasure. So I'm going to prioritize my pleasure. I'm going to literally take it into my own hands, and I'm never going to leave an orgasm at the hands of a man. Like, I will make sure that I'm always taken care of, and like we do not have like stop having sex until I have come. Like, and so it was this very interesting identity that got formed, and that literally informed all of my sexual experiences. And in some cases, like that was really fun, and I loved playing in that position and in that role. But when I got to like my 30s, and I had a partner who was like, I want to make love to you. And I almost threw up on him because I'm like, that's disgusting. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Make love?
Like, gross. Like, what is wrong with you?
I have that song so bad. It's like, I'll make love to you. Yeah. Like you want me to. Kelsey's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I grew up like listening to that song on repeat. And so like somewhere in my psyche, like I understood it, but I'd never experienced it because making love is so vulnerable. And because I'd created this identity and I'm using sex as kind of a protection. Yeah. And so that I don't have to feel like the idea or the concept of surrender or really, really opening or being vulnerable or like having any degree of exchange of love happening there was so intense on my system. And it took like probably 3 years in our relationship before I was like really able to go to that edge with him. And, you know, then it's been a practice ever since, but you know, it was not an easy thing for me to explore the more tender sides of sex because I was always in like the, like, let's fucking go, like clawing at the walls, like really intense energy, but not being able to be in that vulnerable position of being really fed by that mutual exchange of energy. So all that to say, you know, our origin experiences with sex, they do shape what we experience and what kind of comes down the pipeline. And you can always change the story if your origin experience wasn't a great one, which is the case, I'm sure, for a lot of people. And that doesn't have to define what comes next, but sometimes it will. And you can always change the story when you're ready to, like when you're ready to kind of open up that whole world and like experience like the full fucking buffet that is the world of sex. Like there's so much to experience. There's so much to taste.
I'm like, I'm horny. So when
hashtag
when same. Same please. Also, I just want to name my first experience was not like yours. Like you started talking and I was like, yeah, fucking unicorn shit right there. We were relaxed and I let it and I was like, fuck you, Kelsey. I'm just joking. No, but it was just like, I was thinking about mine. I'm like, ugh, like it was just such a reflection of the topic of sex. Like my first experience was absolutely perfection around, because I think partially why Kelsey and I are speaking about some of these topics and even just dipping into them. I can't even stop right now. Like whatever I'm channeling, it's like dipping in. I'm like, can you stop with like the fucking analogy?
No innuendo? Right no.
Yeah, right? Anyways. But it's like for so many of us, these topics are so off the table. It's like, I think it's comical that like money, sex, and power are things that like you're supposed to know how to do perfectly, and you're supposed to know how to like make them and do them, but nobody will talk about them. And so I think that's why Kelsey and I are not intentionally going out to be like, let's, you know, fuck with people and trigger people, but we're just like, let's also let's bring light to these and let's talk about some of these things, because I think that they should be normalized. So anyways, but just in terms of even growing up, like I think how sex is presented within the family unit or within your environment is also, or your culture or the church or whatever you're in, is also so important. Because I know for me, like there was no talk, there was no empowerment or education. And again, I'm not blaming my parents about it, but it was like, all I knew was that when I was young, I wanted to watch like Pretty Woman, or I wanted to watch these movies that my friends were watching who are older. And I was always like, no, 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 no. And so the more I was told no, the more I wanted to watch, the more they were like the forbidden fruit. And so I was like, you know, trying to hide them and all that kind of stuff. And then it became this topic that I was like so fascinated by, because there was so much like shadow in the family about it. And there wasn't that. Like we would watch movies together as a family, and whenever a sex scene would come on, I would always be so awkward, and we were forced to like shut our eyes, or I trained myself to like get up and like walk out of the room and like pretend I had to go to the bathroom, and like rather than just saying something, I would just go and like wouldn't be talked about, and I would get up and like go, you know, oh, I need to go to the bathroom, oh, I need to get a glass of water. And it's like every time there's a sex scene. But I'm realizing even with my own girls, just even around if stuff comes up, like having those conversations in a really casual way, even where I'm just like, yeah, like trying to normalize that, because I think that for me there was such a it was like, we just don't talk about this. And so
Right.
when I entered my first sexual experience, there was no conversation. It was just like, oh, I think I was like 16, and it was like, okay, now we're a boyfriend and girlfriend, so I think we just have sex. And so
Right.
this is just what we do. And so nothing sexually. I was also very disconnected from my body because I had been bullied as a kid and was grown up like really disassociated from my body and from my sort of life and from experiencing things. And receivership was associated with like pain, or I just wanted to like be invisible. So there was such a disconnection. So a lot of my sexual journey was actually very numbed out. It was just like, how can I please you? How can I gain validation? How can I serve you as the male? And how do I, how can I get you to like me, essentially? So it was actually the opposite of you. It was never around receivership for me. It wasn't like, let me see how I can make you pleasure me. It was like, I don't give a fuck if I get off. I want you to get off, then you'll like me, and then I will be safe. So it was such an interesting, a lot of that. And so even as an adult, I'd say it's only in the last like probably year or so where I was in a marriage for 10, 11 years, right? So I was with the same person. And even before that, like in relationships, like I've been cheated on a ton, and there's been a lot of infidelity. And so I've even realized that in relationships, like there was never that, like if I actually truly reflect, I don't think I've really had much of a really healthy sexual relationship, which is why I'm very excited to be in relationship, and also doing the work that I've done around learning about my body and defrosting and being in touch with myself and having that energy come back online, because it was a part that was massively shut down, and I had no idea how much that energy contributed to creativity, to projects, to my business, to work, to my sort of unapologetic self. Because when I was growing up, that was a big part. I was super curious about sex. I remember being very young and like wanting to read like sex novels and having like wanting to read like, let's talk about sex. Like I was always fascinated by it, but it just slowly shut down over the years. And so it's been a very interesting journey to come back into the body and to be like, oh, it's safe to receive pleasure. It's safe to have good things happen. Because so much of my life was associated with like pain and suffering. When it came to receivership, like when I worked with a nervous system coach, she was like, that makes a lot of sense, because she's like, receivership, and this has to do with receiving of anything, of money, of sex, of pleasure, of really anything good. All of that came with a hook. It was sort of like, well, you can have the thing, but it's going to come at the cost of this. And here's the cost. And it was too expensive. So I just sort of shut down wanting anything more than I had experienced, because it was like, oh, the cost of that's going to be so much. So there's been this massive retraining of the nervous system, of the body, of so much work in reprogramming that to receive pleasure, because I'm like, fuck that shit, like 40's moving forward, baby. Pleasure train is fucking chewed up, and it is fueled up, and we got bevies, and we got the party going. And like, I mean, I'm not talking I'm gonna walk into like a hoe era, but I'm just saying, like, it's
not off the table.
Choo choo, choo choo. No, it's just that it's more of, it's exciting to have that energy be back online.
Yeah.
And more so to recreate that connection with my body and with myself, and even allowing myself to go there. So
yeah, I feel you so much on that. And I mean, my relational history, and like after that fucking dumpster fire of a relationship that ended in 2016, like, because there was so much infidelity in that relationship. And it's so funny because I went into that relationship feeling like the hottest shit ever. I was like, I'm so fucking hot. And I remember going on a date with him, and I'm like, damn, like, I can't, like, I'd fuck me. Like, yeah, like, yum. And so I'm like,
I'm so on fucking fire right now. I'm fucking fire. I'm a 10. I'm a 12 out of 10.
Yeah, like 12 out of 10.
I love you.
And it didn't make sense to me. This is going to sound really egotistical, but it didn't make sense to me how someone could cheat on me when I looked that good. Because for me, my worth had always been tied up in how I looked and how my body looked. And I always had a lot of control over that. And when he cheated, and I'm like, on this? Like, what? Like, my body has never looked better. And you still are like, but that's how you keep a man, right? Like that, you like use your body, just very similar to what you had shared with your story of like, there was absolutely elements of that woven into my experience too. And, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why I trained my body so hard for so many years, because I'm like, well, I have to look a certain way to be desirable to a man, and or to anyone really. And so when that happened, it was like this huge fucking paradigm blowout in my system. And then my body started to change in response to being in a very unsafe relationship. And I obviously stopped wanting to fuck him when I knew he was out fucking other people. Like, that it didn't turn me on. And so that energy like largely turned off. And as you said, like, it's interwoven with creativity, because at the same time I stopped singing, I stopped writing music. And it wasn't until that relationship ended that I was able to pick up my guitar again, that I was able to sing. And then I started to feel like turn on again. There was like this guy that like came out of the fucking woodwork. I'd known him for a few years. He looked like Taye Diggs, like chef's kiss.
It sounds like there was more than a chef's kiss involved.
Oh, there was. And he just like came out of the woodwork, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks after the breakup, and started writing me like poetry. And I'm like, oh, mama likes, do some more. Like, but I also knew I needed a little bit of time to like recalibrate and like be ready. Like, I didn't feel ready to get entangled with someone, but I knew that I wanted to have that experience with him. And so I made a request, and I'm like, listen, like, I literally just got out of this very long-term tumultuous thing. I'm going to need probably like 6 months, maybe a little bit more, to like really figure my shit out and like process that. He's like, yeah, no problem. Like, I'll tag back in 6 months. I'm like, okay.
Zing, zing, bitch, you're ready. Okay.
And so that gave me some time to kind of begin stoking those fires just on my own. And getting back in touch with my body, and even just learning how to feel pleasure in my body again after something like that was so huge. And then, you know, like clockwork, 6 months later, he pops back in. He's like, what's up? I'm like, hey, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, you? And he's like, you know, I'm going to be in Vancouver in a month from now. Can I see you? I'm like, you sure can.
TTF? Question mark?
Yeah, exactly. And so he comes to Vancouver, and it was honestly one of like the most beautiful experiences, because I literally felt like this man fucked me back to life. And that's probably where it should have ended.
Yes.
But it's not where it ended. But it was such a beautiful experience of like that energy. Like, I had been cultivating it for the 6 months leading up to it. And then I get to have this experience with him that was really powerful and profound. And then it like reset my system going forward. And then the fucking pandemic, of course, like threw everything out of flux again. And, you know, when my last relationship ended, I was like, I think I really want to like get in there and like build a really reverent relationship with my pussy. Like, that feels like a really important chapter of my story. And I'm going to be intentionally single for this period of time. I didn't obviously know that there was going to be a pandemic, and that would like throw everything into fucking chaos. But I'm like, okay, I guess this is what was needed. Like a 4-year like being in relationship with me. Like, I don't consider it being single. Like, I've considered this phase of time being self-partnered. And in those 4 years, really getting to explore like the relationship with my pussy, like the relationship with my clit, like getting literally into the cellular tissue. And as you were saying, like, you know, thawing that out, like I didn't have a lot of sensation. So the reason why I needed to have such intense experiences was so that I could fucking feel something, because everything was like so numbed out. And when I started to do pussy work, when I started to really work with that relationship, I'm like, oh my God, like I can't feel like certain parts of like my vaginal wall. Like, and I'm literally like doing like a massage stroke internally and I can't feel anything. And so it just, I guess I needed 4 years to kind of attune those tissues and like get back in right relationship and like process what was stored in those tissues, and I think it's been like such a beautiful journey. And sometimes people will hear that of like, what, you haven't had sex in 4 years? I'm like, well, I've had sex with myself. Like, it's not like we haven't been doing anything over here.
We're busy over here. We're active.
We're busy.
Very active.
I'm
extremely sexually active with myself. Yes.
Very sexually active. And it doesn't feel like I've been missing anything, which is very interesting, because especially relationally, like going into this next chapter where I'm like, okay, I feel ready to date. I feel ready to like call in my next partner. It doesn't feel like this urgent thing because I'm being so well sexually fed just in my relationship with me and my own body. And I've really been able to dismantle a lot of those ideas of like, my body has to be literally a size 0 or a size 2 in order to be desirable and in order to like have really good sexual experiences. Because I'm having way better sexual experiences, being in the body that is actually balanced, that, where I'm not literally like torturing my body every single day and forcing her to be a size that it's not natural for her to be. And instead, like being in that true set point and still feeling really good in my own skin and allowing someone to see me in that vulnerable position. Like, I remember sending, and it was the day that I met you. We had a Club Unhinged meeting. We went and had spicy margaritas and talk shop. And I'd sent this selfie to someone and like no makeup, no filter. And I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like, I'm into it. Like, I am into her. Like that was a bold move. And that is not something that 20-year-old me would have been capable of doing. That is not something even 30-year-old me would have been capable of doing. Maybe even like when I was approaching 40, like right before I turned 40. I don't know that I would have done that. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm feeling myself. And like, he's into it. So like, let's just fucking roll with it. And let's just fucking go. Like, and this unapologetic chapter is so powerful. And as women, I think it's just so important for us to not only have these conversations and have them regularly, but also know that it's completely okay to design your story and your path the way that's true for you. If you want to go have a hoe phase, girl, we support you. If you want to go through a phase of celibacy and like internal reflection, we love that for you. And everything in between. Like, there's no wrong way to have a sexual relationship with yourself. And there's no wrong way to like go out in the world and build those connections with other people. Even though a lot of us have been told that, you can only do sex the right way in this particular relational form or like with this particular gender, like all that stuff is fucking nonsense. Like, it's all made up. It's all a construct. Somebody made it up at some point to control the fucking masses, most likely. And for women to essentially be very disconnected from the source of their power. Because as you and I know, when this energy turns back on, there's nothing that's out of range.
No.
Like, every fucking dream you have is coming true when you are stoking these fires reverently. Not extracting from your sexual energy, but in service to it. And this is going to be a very interesting thing, I think, for both of us as we go forward, of like the partners that we call in, like, at least for me, like, that has to be someone who is literally in service to that sexual energy, not someone who's coming to fucking feed off of it, who's coming to extract and pull that energy from me, but someone who is very reciprocal and who can be in service to that energy, just like I'm going to be in service to that energy within him. And that's a very different position to be exploring sex from. And I like it. I'm into it.
I love how you mentioned, I mean, there's so many things I love that you said, but I just really want to touch on this piece around body and the stories we've been fed from society and just from patriarchy around, this is what a gorgeous woman looks like. And I remember the confusion that I felt when I was being cheated on as well. Because in theory, I was like so raging but of course suppressed it, because I was like, what do you mean? The agreement is that I bleed my energy out and I work out 6-7 days a week and I eat egg whites and grapefruits so that I look a certain way. And the unspoken agreement is that I have a man who's faithful and that will not stray. And that because I'm so beautiful and And I remember, like, I was like a size, I don't even remember. I mean, I had a very unhealthy relationship with my body for majority of my whole life. But when I went from that overweight as a kid, bullied, and again, learning that was protection. And, I was sort of like away from my body to, be small and hidden was actually in those layers of protection. But when I got into my like late teens, early 20s, I found like, I went from like the complete pendulum swung, and I went from like eating like garbage. I mean, at one point, it was a very rock bottom. I was eating like Lucky Charms, Count Chocula, like frozen mini pizzas, like Coca-Cola. Like my diet was destination fucked. I mean, let's be real. It was like not good. But I swung from that and I found fitness, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, if I can be skinny, I'm going to be happy. Yeah. I'm going to have my man and all the things. And so I went on this journey of like diet pills. Hello, does anyone remember Hydroxycut? Like,
oh my God, I was like, obsessed.
Literally diet pills, ephedrine. So I would like take ephedrine in the morning. I would work out for like 2.5 hours. I would like go for a hike. I would eat like restriction. And I remember I had like abs at one point. And I remember I was like, I've made it. I've made it. Yeah. I'm finally going to be popular. I'm going to have the man. And I mean,
my dreams are coming true.
Oh, my dreams are coming true. And I was a shell of a fucking human. And I wrote in my book that I'm going to write, there's a chapter called like A Cream Puff Ruined My Life. And it was basically how I went to this party and I was like rail thin. And I went to this party and they had fucking cream puffs out. And I was like staring at it. I was like, I couldn't even have a conversation because I was like literally staring at it. And I was like, I'm going to eat you. And I was like, you can't eat that thing. Like, don't eat it. And I fucking ate it. And everything derailed. I stopped working out. Like, it was such a show of that. And I remember, so it was up and down a lot of my life. But when I got into this relationship again and I was cheated on, I remember like I was in the best shape. This time it was a bit healthier, but I was like in such incredible shape. And when I found out I was cheated on, there was this like internal war and like anger at myself of like, if only you were skinnier, if only you were prettier, if only you'd done this. And I turned my rage, because there was no way I was going to rage on the person. No. I raged on myself, and I turned that inwards, and I just created a war within myself. And there was this like, you need to be this and you need to be this. And I think a lot of people can relate to this. It's like this, like, if only I changed this. And I had no idea. I mean, number one, that anybody who cheats, has honestly nothing to do with me or my worthiness, or you or your worthiness, or anybody in their worthiness, or it's not something you did or didn't do. And like you and I had on our conversation inside the club with our beautiful community, our live coaching call just a couple days ago, I remember, this lady was just sharing about this like unthinkable experience. And I said, honestly, sometimes in life, the thing I learned is that like sometimes we can't make sense of things. Like sometimes things just don't make sense. And as much as we try to understand why, there is no answer, and there'll never be an answer. And that people do things when they're hurting, and people do things when they're traumatized. And it really isn't a reflection of us. And so I think there was this, like you said, this massive sobering around the idea that like, wait, my sex life and my love life and is not going to all of a sudden magically change if I'm a 0. Like, you know, true. I think the biggest thing, like even right now I'm showing up at this podcast, I just coughed. I talked about how basically I had like my dead animal weave in a fucking closet, and how I'm showing up. Like today I have no makeup on, and I'm not like trying to impress anybody, and I'm just like, I'm fucking showing up because this is what life looks like right now with 2 young kids and with business and all the things. Like I just was like, fuck it. But the freedom that comes from being able to show up like this, this is what stokes my sexual energy.
Yeah.
Because life is fun and life is playful and I get to play. And that's what, you know, I just had a coaching call with a client and she was like, I don't know whether to start this thing now or whether to start in the fall. And I was guiding her through and I was like, what if you could just start and be fucking messy and just design this life that's really fucking playful and fun. And you're like in your big, bold self and you're like doing really whatever the fuck you want. And like, what if that could be, and she could see this, you could see the sexual energy, the life force energy was starting to build. The Kundalini fucking awakening, whatever the fuck you call it. But it's like, it's like you could see it. And I think and I said, I'm like, you know what it's like. I'm like, you've been on calls with me before. I'm like, sometimes my fucking dog or kid will roll in. It's not very often. Or sometimes shit goes down or the Wi-Fi sucks. And I said, you know, when we have permission and we have this just like, you know, just grace and this willingness to love ourselves in the mess and whatever that looks like, I said, that's like liberation of freedom. And liberation of freedom raises our vibration and life force energy flows through us again. And like, that is bringing sexy back. That is what you and I are going to be talking about on our webinar coming up, because it's like, this is such a piece that I have seen and witnessed, and you know, through working with so many women, is seeing that sexual energy. It's like cranked to 0, and you know, it's through being hurt and through having people hurt us and through infidelity and through like numbing out and through the world telling us, you know, what we should look like and who we should be and what's what's approved and what's not approved and all these parts. And you're seeing it right now. There's this massive women like reclamation of power and anger and rage and sex and like just fire and all of women being like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna be rich too. Like, why the fuck would I not be? Like, it's all connected, right? Yeah, it's all connected. Money, sex, power, like it's all coming back online. And I think there's a lot of, especially women right now, who are in this like expansion, contraction, like, no, don't want too much. Don't go there. And it's like, Kelsey, I mean, this is what you and I are on a rampage with Club Unhinged. Like, when I were like, let me be the doula. Let me be the doula of your fucking sexual energy and your money and your sex and your power. We are here to bring this and birth this. Give us more.
Bring it out in the open. Stoke those fires. Like, and I think going back to something you said about receivership, you know, that's also a spot that we have to address, right? Like, if we feel like these big bubbling desires, but at the same time we have, you know, a part of us that's like, it's not safe to receive any of that goodness, then we're going to be doing like the brake and the gas at the same fucking time and just doing fucking donuts in the car park.
Why are my manifestations not coming? Bitch, you ordered the Amazon and they keep ringing the doorbell and you're like, nobody's home. I don't deserve it. I'm unworthy. And they're like, well, I just want to give you the shoes.
You
like,
ordered it.
You ordered it. Are you crazy? I'm not worthy. I can't.
Yeah. Well, and that happens so often in relationship land too, where we have this desire for a certain type of relationship. Like, let's just use like the very basic, like, I want a conscious relationship. But then we have all of these unconscious patterns that are like, the fuck you do. Like, you're not getting that. You know who
you like? You like all the red flags. The red flags are super sexy.
It's a carnival in here.
Totally. You put on the glasses and you're like, those red flags don't even look the red.
I don't see them.
You know what? I don't see them. Bye-bye. Well, and again, I think just to touch on that is that our nervous system, right? It's like, if we want a conscious relationship, we talked about this in our unconventional manifestation webinar that we just did as well. If you haven't heard that one, you can get it inside the club. But that one was magic because we talked so much about the gas and the brake and how our nervous system this is a massive piece missing in the manifestation world right now, but like our nervous system wants us familiar. So if we want a conscious relationship, yet all we've seen is chaos and pain and, dysfunction, it doesn't matter how much we want it, and we put it on our vision board and we think it into existence and we affirm every day. If our nervous system deems a conscious, slow, and like reverent relationship, if it doesn't know what that would be like, it automatically puts it in the unsafe bucket, and it will like reject it. It doesn't. It's like, no, I don't know what that's like. Sabotage, because I know what it's like to deal with chaos, and even though it's a familiar hell, I would rather experience that, and it will, until we start doing that repatterning, until we start titrating, until we start teaching ourselves and slowing down and doing that work to become the energetic match, and so that our nervous system isn't rejecting that relationship.
100%. And like the same goes for like the distinction between a safe relationship and then like a whole spicy full meal deal relationship.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will also default to a safe relationship where the sexual energy is fucking dead. Like it's just non-existent. Like no one wants to fuck each other because there was just no, that energy wasn't there to begin with. Right? Or like we chose that person from one of our adaptive strategies. We didn't choose them from our place of alignment. And the same is true when you've been choosing safe relationships. And usually that happens after you have a really chaotic, off the fucking hinges in the worst possible way type of relationship. And then you swing to the other side and you choose a safe relationship because you're like, I do not want to ever do that again.
Yes.
And so you go into this safe relationship, but the cost of that is, well, your sexual needs are not going to be met. You are not going to be fed. And as women, if those energies are not being stoked alive on a regular basis, your whole life is going to feel fucking beige. And like we talked about this on episode 1, like we are here to live life in fucking Technicolor.
Yes.
And your sexual energy has a lot to do with that. And wanting to play in the sexual domain, explore your edges, and like, we're not suggesting like you only have to fuck one person. Like if you have an open relationship, you can fuck multiple people as long as that's in integrity. Like you can make it up however you want.
Yes.
And you have to include your sexual needs as part of the very valid package of creating the relationship worth having. And in order to like create capacity for that, we have to be in relationship to our own body, our pussy, like our sexual history, like what our actual desires are. And this is what I love about this season for us is like you and I for the past few months have really been diving into these edges of what we desire. And like we just share that so openly with each other. And we're like, oh, this is what I want right now. Or here's a picture of my tits. What do you think?
Our text thread is legit an OnlyFans account. I mean, it's so unhinged, and it's OnlyFans. Kelsey and I literally go back and forth, and we're like, this is immaculate. She'll send me a photo of her, like, in lingerie, and I'm like, I can't even handle it. It's like, if somebody went through my emojis threads, like, the ones that pop up at the front, they'd be like, you have a jaguar, like, hot burning heart, fire, like the emoji where it's like,
drip, drip.
Drip,
yep.
The
eggplant.
The pen. The panting.
Peach. Oyster.
Mermaid with Triton. You're like, but it's like, but it is. It's so good, and I think that's the thing. So like, even if you're not in a relationship, like have like come play, like
friends.
Find a friend that you can even like play with, or come inside the club, and I'm like, we will stoke that shit with you. I mean, we are so playful inside of there. And I just want to name. I know you and I like unpack this, but when we did that live coaching call and we like walked some women through some deep shit and some like beautiful unravelings, I just want to say that part of that repatterning part of it is community, having a safe community for your nervous system, that like work to do. Part of it is that, and watching those women fucking complete, basically strangers, hold each other through some of that material. My God. Like, and
Immaculate.
I just did that with the retreat as well. It was just, it blows my fucking mind. And there's so much noise right now around, like, everyone's the worst and everyone's unsafe and people are shit. And I'm like, in my world, people are fucking stellar. Yeah. It's unbelievable how many fucking incredible people are. And I think, again, it's just so beautiful to see even the women who are coming and being drawn into the club right now. But there is a respect and a reverence and a power that it is like, I haven't seen it. And it's fucking epic. And anyways, that just like dropped in. But like when we're dealing with sensitive topics like this and we're dealing with, you know, just it's unbelievable. Just all I'm saying is either come in the club or surround yourself in communities where people are open, and it's not like everyone needs to be like this and this is how we're doing it and you're you know, you're just following this thing. It's like you get to be self-expressed and you get to find your authenticity within that community. There's no I'm the leader and I think the age of the sort of like guru and student is just it's boring and it's dead. And I just think yes, and I think that, you know, you and I even said, we're like, anybody listening to the podcast right now, anyone inside of the club that we're building, like, we're all just walking in a line being like, let's fucking go. And we don't know what's going to happen. And we don't know what this is going to look like. And you and I are both just like the ones who are like, let's just cancel ourselves. Let's pre-cancel ourselves. Let's just go and build this business as if we are already canceled. And what would that look like? And that's a great question for you. Like, how would you live your life? How would you have sex? How would you do business? How would you be in a relationship if you could kind of just pre-cancel yourself and be really you? And what does that look like? Unapologetically yourself, and start living from that place. And maybe that starts with 2% more you and, you know, 3% more you, and then it builds to 6% more you. But like, can you infuse more of that life force energy through you and out of you and into the world? Because that's where service comes from. That's where like beauty and magic and like the zazazing spice we're talking about comes from.
I mean, I don't think that's a surprise. Like, authenticity is like the baseline of Club Unhinged. It's like that is where all the magic happens. And of course, the more authenticity you bring to the bedroom, the more pleasure you're going to experience, because you're actually going to get your needs met. Like, you're actually going to have the type of experiences that you want to be having, not the type of experiences that you think you should be having, or what society told you is appropriate for who you are, but like what you actually like. And there's so much permission inside the club to do that exploration if you don't know the answer. Because I think a lot of people, this is not just women, but a lot of people don't actually know the answer to that. Like, what do you actually like? What actually turns you on? And then we like have these shadowy behaviors where we like do it in the shadows, and like we're like on fucking Pornhub and we're like, oh, let me find the thing, you know. And then but we're like,
dirty thing that if anyone ever found out about me, I'd be fucking dead. Delete search history, private browser, please, private browser,
incognito. Oh my God. But like, there's something in that, like when there's a part of you that is trying to do this in the shadows, like this is going back to that distinction of like, is this just a fantasy that you want to play with, or is this something that you want to weave into real time? And you need to know the difference between the two, and the things that you're gravitating towards in the shadows can really inform how to build out and co-create a really powerful sex life. But you have to be fucking honest about it. You have to be authentic about, hey, like, this is what I'm into. And that is risky. It's risky because you run the risk of revealing that information and someone being like, actually, that's not for me. And so this is what people do, is they withhold that. And then they try these sneaky little ways of trying to get that fucking need met. Doesn't work. And then we have to fucking blow up the relationship because our needs aren't being met, but we were never advocating for them in the first place. So like there's so much inside the club where we continue to foster this energetic of permission, and all of it belongs. Like no one in the club is going to yuck your yum. So like whatever you're into, even if we're not into it, we're going to be like, yeah, I love that for you. Tell us more.
How better? Come on. You got a juicy
zing,
story?
zing.
Let's go.
Let's go. You know, there's so much approval for it.
Yeah.
And that really does create more of that energetic of liberation. Like first time I sent you some photos and I'm like, this is a fucking edge and I'm going to do it. And like, we're best friends. Like other best friends of mine have seen my pussy. So I think it's just fair for Christine to see it. It would be rude not to.
Basically.
Yeah, I'd be like, and this is how you know, like, where the caliber of friendship is. You know, like, this would never, ever, ever happen with anyone who is not my inner circle. And, like, even people in that inner circle, no, not happening. It's like, here's a picture of me in, you know, a full, like, bodysuit. And they're like, oh my God, that's such an edge. And I'm like, oh, God, if you only knew. That wasn't even like the appetizer. This
is me in my snowsuit, bitches.
Yeah, exactly. And so like you gotta have those people, and it doesn't have to be a lot of people, but like one or two people in your life who can help foster those flames, or come into the club, as Christine said, and be met with women who are going to fan those flames and who are going to get curious about what really works for you, so that you can start to build that internal safety and that internal approval around what you like and what works for you. Because if you can't do it, you with you, if you can't even have that honest conversation, how the fuck are you going to do that with someone you want to fuck? You're not going to, especially if you want to fuck them and be in a relationship. Those are high stakes. And so you are like, the more practice you have in being authentic, the more likely you are to be authentic in the circumstances of your life where that really matters. Because vetting a partner, if you are not authentic in that whole process, you will end up with someone who is just not your fucking vibe, not your person, where you have to struggle to get your needs met, or it just doesn't totally fit. And we don't want that for you.
No.
We want you to be well fucked, well fed, like living your best fucking life, like literally carving out the path of your dreams. And you can't do that if you're like tied up, and like not in the kinky way, because I'm so into that, by the way. It's like, give me that rope. Tie me up with that. You know, it's so funny, like going from this place of being like very like in control and like I'm the dom here, and then like swinging to this other side of like, oh no, like do what you want. Like,
oh, no.
you're in charge. Oh no.
Oh, ropes? I don't know. Fuck me.
Do it.
Totally. Stop. Oh my God. You know what this is feeling like right now is I'm like just got excited and I just had a flash, because I feel like people listening right now are probably going to have questions, and they're going to want to know their own scenarios, and they're going to want to know, like, this is probably going to spark, like, am I with the wrong person? Oh my God, I've been doing those things. My relationship is dull. I just am so fucking excited. I'm going to plant the seed now that we have this all up and running, is to have people to be doing our live coaching.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I just saw a flash of like, well, and also, no, just even like having the call-ins, having people call.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
yes,
on the podcast.
Tier 3. Yes, Tier 3 are like live coaching experience for you and I, but like just having people calling on the podcast. Like I just saw a flash of it, and I was just like, oh shit, this is going to be epic.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Do you remember that radio show, Sex with Sue, on Sundays?
Yes.
God, that was my favorite show as a kid. Like, back in the 90s, I'm literally in bed at, like, on a Sunday night with my radio, like, turned so low, and I'm listening to this woman just talk about sex. If you don't live in Canada, you maybe you would know this, but maybe you wouldn't. But it was this radio show on Canadian radio on Sunday nights where this fucking ballsy ass woman would just talk about everything, just no shame. And like people would call in, or there would be like a Ask Sue, like kind of intake form, and people would write in their questions and she would answer them. Like that's what it kind of reminds me of. And we're going to be doing that on the podcast where we bring, like, people can call in real time and we're going to work with you. We're going to answer your questions. And that feels, so good. Like, I love how this project is just unveiling itself. It's, showing us piece by piece what it wants to become. And we're just like showing up and serving the energy and doing the next thing that needs to be done. And, I'm very excited for that part of the podcast.
Well, it'll be really cool because, again, people get an idea of, like, you and I as leaders, how we are in the club, like what the vibe of it is, and, like, what you can expect. Because in Tier 2, we do have that live coaching component in it. And in our Tier 3, Kelsey and I are also tag teaming. I mean, this is obviously very limited in terms of how many people we can take on, but probably be like more of a waitlist situation. But we're going to be doing tag team coaching. So you get Kelsey and I together, the two of us,
double penetration.
With you, double penetration on a live coaching call for an hour. So like, watch out. The two of us on one is going to be spicy. And then you have Kelsey or I every month for a one-to-one intensive, and we create a whole plan for you for our 8 months together. And then we close out the 8 months with another tag team coaching call and a digesting, and you also get access to the club in between, and like so many fucking things. And it's just like, anyways, it's just, I'm so fucking excited for that. So
and the best part is like the topics of that, like sex, love, money, and manifestation. Like that's what we get to zone in on with these women in Tier 3. Like, fuck yeah. I'm so into it.
I'm so fucking into it. It's just, it's too much. It's so good.
It's so good.
So fucking
it's
good.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
So
good.
I have these cards from Esther Perel.
Yeah.
Let's answer one.
Okay.
I feel most erotic when.
Oh. That's a good question. I don't know. The first thing that comes in is like, I feel most erotic when I'm like being me, like when I'm really in tune and in touch with my body, and when I'm really in tune, and that doesn't even just in a sexual way. It's just like, I feel most erotic actually when I'm like flowing with life, when I'm in that like lean back acceptance of what is, non-resistance to life. And there's just this like energetic, no matter what's happening in my life, there's just this like deep surrender and this lean back, which is I guess more of that feminine energy. And there's just this like flow of like erotic energy I find that comes through me, because I'm just sort of saying like, it's like you're having sex with the universe. It's like a co-creation. It's like me and you, baby, are going to take this, and it's not just about me hustling and in my masculine, because I find when I'm in my masculine energy, my erotic energy is a lot more shut down. Same. It's a lot more in the like doing and, performing and the to-do lists, and it's more of that energy. But I find when I'm in that like, I don't know, that fucking like, let's gamble universe, let's fucking glow. She just did a little post on this where it was like, when you're in that like game of chess with the universe and you're in that lean back, let's fucking go. I don't know what life's going to look like, but I'm trusting. I find my erotic energy just amps the fuck up, and I'm just in that like, because you're in that like sexy dance. You're like,
sizzle, yeah.
I don't know what's going to show up. I don't know what's fucking happening. I don't know what's going to, but guess what? I fucking trust it. And I find even as I say that, my whole entire like lower chakras are just like, because you're in flow with the universe, and the erotic energy is life force energy.
Yeah. I mean, I have a very, very similar answer. Like, it's when I'm like really in my alignment, and like whether that's like, I've gone to do the type of workout my body actually wants to do that day, and I've eaten the type of food my body actually needs for nourishment. my relationships, I'm like saying what I need to say and doing what I need to do. And it's also very situational for me as well. Like my environment really informs how I feel. And so I'm like I feel really erotic when the lights are low and like I have like a red like salt lamp on.
Yes.
And like I've been like really tending to my woman all day. And then it kind of gets like dark, or like even this has happened in the daytime too, where I just feel that energy, exactly what you said, just like turn on. And I'm like, oh, it's go time. And this happened the other day because I was really fucking in it and I was feeling it. And I was like, you know what? It's time for Christine to receive some selfies.
I'm going to send you some midday porn.
I'm going to send you some porn. So just be prepared. And that was the vibe. I was like, I just want to play in that energy. And also like knowing that our relationship gets to be a space where I can play with that. And like, I know that I'm always going to be met and gassed up. Like y'all should see the fucking text this woman sent me. And like you all need a fucking best friend like Christine, because this text was immaculate. I'm like, this is how I want every man to respond to me until the end of time. And if he doesn't meet this bar, like beat it, you know, like
get fucked,
get out of here. Because like there was just something about that you could feel that erotic energy, and you didn't have to be in that with me to amplify it and support it and champion it and appreciate it. And the same is true when you send me stuff or when you are in that flow, and I might not be in that energy, but I'm still going to fucking go there with you and be like, yeah, girl, you are fucking fire, you know, and do more. Like, tell me, like, do more. You got to have more in there. 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
You know, and it's just that type of like, even when we're in flow and we're zinging off of each other, which is every single day, like we talk every day, and the days that we don't, like we're still sending each other ridiculous shit on the internet, and like there's some zing that happens every day. But when we get on the phone with each other and that energy just clicks in and we are off to the races and we're both just downloading, like I feel so charged up and erotic when I get off those calls, and I'm like, okay, well now what do I gotta go do? Like, do I need to go and like have an orgasm? Do I need to go like make some porn? Do I need to write some erotica? Like, do I need to write a song? Do I need to go work out? Like, who knows what I need to do, but like I have to move that energy so it allows me to stay in that creative erotic pocket and then explore these other edges of the expression of that, you know. And I've gotten into writing erotica lately, and I'm really into it, and I'm going to keep doing it, and no one's going to stop me, and that's fine. One of my clients yesterday, she was like, I think erotica actually needs to be your side hustle. She's like, this is really fucking good. I'm like, I know. It might just be.
I think we need to have a private tier inside the club that's like an invite only. It's like the backdoor pass, and no pun intended, and you get like your erotic and like our like shadow clearing dumping and like our like B-roll podcast shit that like is like the before and after the podcast. So it's like the most fucked up shit that we just like wouldn't say on camera. And like so inside the club you get like all of that
password protected,
just password protected, non-downloadable fucking content.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyways, that just pinged in. So,
well,
anyways,
stay tuned, friends, because we're clearly up to big things over here. Big things.
The backdoor pass is just a link to our OnlyFans.
You know, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Not the worst idea. We always joke about OnlyFans. We're like, we should get an OnlyFans. And every time we like talk, we're like doing the.
But
like,
actually, we should.
It's not the worst idea. People pay for like my forearm and shit.
It's true.
Okay, now we're delaying. Now we're.
We just don't want to leave you.
We're slightly derailing. I can feel the wheels are about to come off. My closing thoughts are join the club. Come see us if you're like... I mean, for real though, like, if you're
but
like,
for real, like,
but if you're like dying right now and you're like, yeah, I probably should. Like, I mean, just like come.
You
join.
probably
Like,
should.
You probably should. Like, oh my god,
Go to the
go to the show notes. Squirrel.
Link.
An eagle just flew by. An eagle just flew by. But go to the show notes and click the link and like come join us. Because I mean, if you think we're fun on a podcast or on our free webinar, I mean, you should see what shit's up inside the club. I mean, we're just outrageous, and I think that's the thing. Outrageous. And even if you're like, I would never be like them, which you might not be, then that's also good. Be. But no, you don't have to be. But like, we're in that outrageous expression, so that not even like it's actually just real. It's like we're not even trying, but it's just that's kind of we're allowing that side of us to play. And you know, that might be a good expander for you to be like, yeah, I mean, my expression wouldn't look like theirs because they fucked, but like, this is what it would look like over here. And this is, you know what I mean? And
yeah. And we love it. And we're going to champion it.
Yeah. And we're going to champion it in all of your expressions. So,
yeah,
and that's what's been really fun is seeing people come alive. Like you see it in their eyes. There's just this like, that you can actually see the life force energy, that sexual energy come back online. And also if you listen to this podcast before, I think it's May 11th? Yeah, then come join us on the free webinar as well. We'll link that below. Yeah. But or and if you don't catch it, you catch it after that, then you do need to join the club because you'll have to get the replays in there.
Exactly.
Back to you essentially just signing up for the club.
Yeah,
love you.
Just come into the club. Meow. And if you liked the podcast today, it would be very helpful if you subscribed and you rated and reviewed the podcast, but only if you like it. Only if you're going to give us a 5 out of 5 rating. Totally. Don't give us a shitty rating. Like if you don't like the podcast, just don't listen to it. You know, but if you're here, obviously you like us and you obviously are digging what we're doing. So we would love if you extended that love into a rating, a review on Spotify or Apple. Follow us so that you get updated and you never miss an episode. And if this is an episode that you think someone else could really benefit from listening to, please share it with them. That is so helpful. Or share it on your social media, however you want to do that. But it would be very, very helpful for just getting the word out, for supporting people in their greatest expression, and at the very least, de-shaming sex. Like we don't need to carry that shame around sex any fucking longer. And so if you were supported or entertained by today, those are some of the ways that you can support us and what we're up to. And keep the train running.
Keep true. And if you join the club or you like share the podcast on your socials, tag us. Like Kelsey and I love giving shout outs and being like, fuck yeah, let's go. You're in. Like, let's fucking go. We'll probably send you a voice note. Like we're so into this. And like Kelsey said, this is just about more de-shaming of it all, of every topic, of everything, and just having these conversations and opening it up for discussion, because that's what I think we're missing right now is just more opinions and more just like authentic truths out there. Expression. So anyways, thank you for listening.
We love you.
If you're still here. We love you. Meow.
And we'll see you on our next episode.
Okay,
bye. All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating. And we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.